Are canned sardines healthy? Here's what Dr. San say. There are a lot of good reasons to eat more canned fish. Beyond that, it's been trending on TikTok for years. Canned fish, like canned sardines, are a quick and convenient way to get seafood in your diet that requires little to no prep work. The 2020 to 2025 dietary guidelines for Americans recommend consuming 8 to 12 ounces of seafood, or about 2 to 3 4-ounce servings, per week to help you reap the health benefits it provides. To meet these recommendations, consumers have a variety of options to choose from, canned sardines included. Whether canned sardines are already a part of your diet or something you're considering trying, you may be wondering if they're a healthy option and how their nutrition compares. In this article, we'll cover what registered dietitians want you to know about canned sardines and how to nutritiously add them to your diet. Health benefits of canned sardines. From cardiovascular to cognitive health, the benefits canned sardines can offer are bountiful. May offer heart health benefits. Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death for adults in the United States, making efforts to reduce the prevalence of this condition extremely important. A recent review released in the April 2023 Journal of Frontiers in Nutrition found that the omega-3 content of sardines offers important heart-protecting benefits and that eating them may exceed the benefits oral supplementation can provide, thanks to their robust nutrient profile. While more research is needed, scientists have begun to explore the synergistic relationship of the omega-3s in canned sardines and how they interact with nutrients like calcium, potassium, magnesium, iron and zinc. When they work together, these nutrients can help decrease inflammation and oxidative stress in the body, in turn promoting blood flow and potentially decreasing the risk of cardiovascular diseases. May help prevent type 2 diabetes. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, approximately 96 million U.S. adults, 1 of every 3, have prediabetes. Preventive efforts to stop this condition from progressing into type 2 diabetes are important, and the nutrients in canned sardines may play a big role. Research published in the 2021 Journal of Clinical Nutrition explored the impact that consuming sardines twice a week had on older adults diagnosed with prediabetes. In this randomized and controlled clinical trial, which is the gold standard when it comes to study designs, scientists found that subjects who received sardines as part of their nutrition program had a significantly lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those in the control group who received the nutrition counseling without sardines added to their diets. Participants who consumed sardines also experienced an increase in HDL cholesterol, often referred to as the good cholesterol, and a decrease in both triglyceride levels and blood pressure. May help improve bone health. Protecting bone health is crucial for healthy aging. Canned sardines are packed with calcium and vitamin D, 2 nutrients that play a critical role in bone health. 2022 research published in Nutrients suggested that inadequate intakes of important macronutrients and micronutrients, like calcium and vitamin D, may affect bone health and the time it takes older adults to heal bone fractures. More research has cited the positive impact the nutrient composition of fish varieties, like sardines, may have on healing hip fractures, as well. Lauren Manacker MS, RDN, LD, a registered dietitian and author, agrees that encouraging Americans to eat more sardines may be beneficial for bone health. She shares, some canned sardines don't have all of the bones removed, which can act as a bonus when it comes to nutrition. Those tiny bones are packed with calcium and vitamin D that play an important role in optimizing bone health as you age. May support brain health. The cognitive health benefits of omega-3 fatty acids have received a lot of attention over the years, and for good reason. A 2018 review published in Nutrients evaluated 25 randomized control studies that looked at omega-3 supplementation and the role it played on brain health across the lifespan. Researchers found that people who supplemented with DHA and EPA, 2 types of omega-3s, saw improvements in their blood biomarkers that resulted in health benefits regardless of age. Including more omega-3s also resulted in improved literacy, attention and visual processing in school-aged children and improved cognitive function in older adults. While there's a growing body of that evidence supports omega-3 supplementation, dietitians want consumers to consider a food-first approach. Manacker shares, eating canned sardines can positively impact cognitive health. Plus, they're a great way to increase DHA intakes, considering most Americans aren't getting enough of this important fatty acid in their diet. Not to mention, a can of sardines is usually less expensive than a jar of specialty supplements. Canned sardine nutrition. Canned sardines are a nutritional powerhouse. Not only are they an excellent source of protein, vitamin B12, vitamin D and calcium, containing more than 20% of the daily value, but they're also a good source of iron, containing more than 10% DV. Plus, canned sardines contain close to 100% of the recommended daily intake of omega-3 fatty acids. Keep in mind, though, that the National Institutes of Health's recommended daily intake for omega-3s hasn't been updated in over 20 years and does not give specific guidance about the amount of the different types of omega-3s, ALA, DHA and EPA, that should be consumed. Current recommendations from the American Heart Association suggest consuming 250 mg of EPA and DHA per day, or more if you have high cholesterol or triglyceride levels, to reap their benefits. Canned sardines provide more of both EPA and DHA than these recommendations. Risks and considerations for canned sardines. According to Jenny Shea Rawn, MS, MPH, Rhode, a registered dietitian and author of Coastal Kitchen, Nourishing Seafood Recipes for Everyday Cooking, there's very little to no risk in consuming sardines, unless you have a fish allergy, sensitivity or have been advised by your healthcare providers to limit consumption. Manaka also notes that individuals with high blood pressure may be advised to monitor their sodium intake and should be cautious of the brands of canned sardines they are purchasing. While she doesn't recommend avoiding this heart-healthy food, she does suggest these individuals read the nutrition label before you enjoy canned sardines to choose the lowest sodium option. It is also good practice to be aware of the mercury content that is present in seafood, especially if you are pregnant, breastfeeding or plan to become pregnant. While canned sardines are a low-mercury fish choice, Manaka notes, eating them frequently, as in more than 4 times a week, may be a concern, since you could potentially be exposed to too much mercury. While this shouldn't scare you, especially if you're consuming less than 8 ounces per week, it's important to try to focus on getting a variety of low-mercury seafood options in your diet. Shea Rawn shares, it's always best to choose a variety of different kinds of seafood, and foods, in general, throughout your week to ensure you're getting a range of nutrients. If you are at risk for gout, a type of arthritis, flare-ups, you will want to avoid sardines. According to the USDA, sardines are high-purine fish. Purines are broken down into uric acid in our bodies. Because gout is caused by high uric acid levels, those prone to gout want to avoid foods high in purines, per the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. What to look for when purchasing canned sardines. When selecting canned sardines, both Manaka and Shea Rawn recommend choosing sardines packed in a lower sodium brine to help reduce your total sodium intake. However, when it comes to choosing whether the sardine is canned in olive oil or water, that is a personal preference. Canned sardines in oil will provide a bit more total fat and calories but can also offer more flavor. Frequently asked questions 1. Are canned sardines processed food? Canned sardines are considered processed food since, technically, anything that is altered from its original state for consumption is considered processed. However, processed, in this case simply means prepared since canning sardines can help make it easier to enjoy this nutrient-dense seafood option. Canned sardines should not be considered off-limits or bad because of the processing they require. 2. Is it healthy to eat canned sardines every day? Yes, both Shea Rawn and Manaka suggest you can eat canned sardines daily, but there are a few things to consider if you do. Manaka notes that the recommended seafood intake is 8 to 12 ounces per week, depending on your age and individual factors. If you are consuming a small portion of canned sardines daily and are within this suggested consumption range per week, there shouldn't be cause for concern. 3. Are canned sardines better for you than canned tuna? Both canned sardines and canned tuna provide similar nutrients and contribute to the recommended weekly seafood intake. However, both Shea Rawn and Manaka advise consumers to be aware of the mercury content of canned tuna versus canned sardines. Shea Rawn shares, canned sardines do have a lower amount of mercury than canned tuna, both light and white, because of their smaller size since the mercury content of fish typically increases as you move up the food chain. The bottom line, canned sardines are a nutrient-dense seafood option that can be included in a balanced, variety-filled diet. Not only are canned sardines convenient and versatile to use in your eating pattern, but they also provide heart-healthy omega-3s that may help with reducing inflammation, improving cognition and more. While it's important to be aware of the mercury content of your seafood choices, canned sardines are a lower mercury fish in comparison to larger types of seafood. If you're new to sardines, try one of our healthy sardine recipes to help get you started. If you learned something new about canned sardines today, Hit like, subscribe for more food-powered health tips, and comment below. What's your favorite way to enjoy canned sardines?